over to my next game in the Big Ten. Penn State takes on Michigan. It's a big game over there. Michigan's -7. The over and under is set at 51.5. Now, I think this is just my personal opinion, along with some things that I've seen. Is Penn State usually a team that's not very good on the road, but they've kind of changed that narrative this year, and they've been doing a lot better on the road. They even been handling business at home. And Michigan, on the other hand, we've seen this team so spotty for years. Like, we've seen some great Michigan teams lose to some small schools. We've seen some what we thought were going to be great Michigan teams not pan out to be as much as they are right now. But this Michigan team is rolling right here, and they're rolling because they run the ball and they play good defense. And this Penn State team, they're pretty similar to that. They also run the ball and play good defense as well. It is a lot of yards between the two teams, but we are in conference play now. So if you're looking at the numbers, they're compiled with some of the out-of-conference play early in the season. But if you narrow it down to conference play, it'd be something different. We've seen it all last week when some of these teams lined up. This is going to be way more of a grudge match than we think. Both teams are going to be relying on their defense in Michigan and Penn State. So I'm all the way on the under in this one, under 51.5. I don't really got to play on the side. I mean, I would to take the under. I'm kind of leaning on Penn State to play some defense because I know Michigan is going to come out and play some defense. So I should be leaning on Penn State, but I'm going to leave the side alone altogether and watch the game. But I'm going to just watch a nice grudge match and stick with the under right here. You like that one, Big Regu?
Yeah, no argument from me on that. The thing about it is, the knock on Penn State's always been, and you brought it up, is that, on the road with Franklin, they haven't been a very good cover team, especially when they go on the road as a favorite. But, I mean, they've done pretty – I think they've been on the road twice, and they've covered twice. Now, the unusual thing is they lost their last two games, or not lost them. They didn't cover the last two games at home going away into this game, but they've been pretty good on the road, shockingly. So, I mean, does that trend continue with here? Michigan has been doing a lot of things right. I like the way that the style of football they're playing. They're playing a real balanced attack of football. They're 4-2 to the number, but they're 0-5-1 to the under. So they haven't played in the over yet. And Penn State's, they're 3-2 with the spread, and they're 5-0 straight up, and they're 3-2 to the over. So when Penn State covers a number, it goes over. So, I mean, this could be one of those spots where either Michigan kind of knocks them dead, or Penn State gets in a little bit of a knockdown drag out here with Michigan here. But I think it's going to be a good game overall. I just think they got a ton of talent on Penn State's side. We'll see what McCarthy, if he can handle the big house, in that spot, which I think he can. I think he's done a nice job, running that Penn State offense. So, I mean, we're looking at 7 points, right? So it's a pretty decent number, in a game like this. I think it opened 7.5. It's ticked down to 7.5, 7. So I think if I get 7.5, I might have to grab Penn State here in this spot if it goes to 7.5. But I'm going to wait because this is going to be one of those games that it's either going to be bet up or the books don't want to mess with it. They'll leave it right at 7 and maybe juice it a little bit. So right now I'm going Penn State small.
I'm hoping they play, each of them play their game. I hope nothing comes out where one jumps out too fast and starts playing chase or nothing like that. I'm just totally relying on both teams squaring up to play the game, bringing the game that they play and playing against each other in that way on that one. But let's move on to this next one.